r/ask Reddit. What's something everyone loves that you secretly find overrated? Switch to controversial for the real answers. I've come to love the controversial section in the comments. Always entertaining. Beyonce. I mean, sure, she's good, but I don't see why she has a godlike status. Agreed. I liked her music in the early 2000s, but the past 5 years or so, I just don't get the appeal. The music sounds terrible, and she has a total god complex which is off-putting. The pregnancy photo shoot was the worst. If any normal person would have done those photos, people would say how ugly it is. But because it's her, people suddenly think that nasty fabric and gaudy floral arrangements are beautiful and classy. She cleared out an entire floor of the UCLA Medical Center so she could give birth. Her self-importance is unsettling. Reddit gold. Edit. Bora. My evil plan worked. This guy wants Reddit gold. No. He might be serious. What does it really do? New features that you'll never use? For $4? Practically useless. Especially after net neutrality gets repealed. Twitter. It might be because it's never been a big thing where I live, but it's not that amazing. Social media is only as bad or good as you make it. On Twitter I follow people I find funny, news sources, and sports players I like. It's a good time. On Facebook I have nothing but family, people from high school. It sucks. It's like saying Reddit sucks when you're only subscribed to subreddits you don't like. Well, done. This is the key. There are loose Twitter communities, like an unstructured subreddit almost. Finding one that you like is the key to enjoying Twitter. I mostly follow Canadian journalists and academics, and it's a fun way to engage with new perspectives. Truly not trolling, but Star Wars. They're mostly fine movies. I don't hate them. I always see them eventually, but I don't understand the level of dedication to them as if they're the pinnacle of cinema. Camping out in front of theaters for days, going to insane lengths to avoid spoilers, etc. I mean, they're good, but not that good, Imo. Thanks for saying this. I am 100% in the same camp. An interaction I had a few days ago at work, for example, was weird, and the person was honestly shocked when I told him, "Dude, got your tickets then?" Me, for what? Dude, Thursday night? Me. Dude, Last Jedi? Me, oh right. Now I will see it at some point. Dude, what? You need to get to see it opening night. WTF, I thought you would be all over that. I am disappointed. Ginger Mexican walked away. Seemed honestly annoyed at me. That guy is just a twat. Even when I was a kid in the 80s, there were many that weren't into the movies. But for many of us, Star Wars was the pinnacle of CF in those years. In a way, I am surprised today's generation is just as hooked, because we get tons of movies with similar stories and effects, whereas in the early 80s, the movies stood out from everything else. Despacito, it's alright, no reason it should have been listened to over 5 billion times combined on YouTube and Spotify. Edit. Wow, thanks for the upvotes. This one comment takes up the vast majority of upvotes my other comments have gotten. I appreciate it for boosting Puerto Rico's economy. I'm from Puerto Rico. What is this economy you speak of? Really loud, obnoxiously positive YouTube vloggers. Edit. And you people filling my inbox. Hey guys, Emmy again. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe this video. Follow Emmy on all the social medias. And come back for daily videos. 111. 111. Weddings. We're currently planning ours, and slowly realizing just how much unnecessary shit people pay for just because they're told that it must be part of a wedding. Edit. I didn't expect this post to blow up so much. We've been thinking about our decision, and I think we're ready to ditch the idea of a traditional wedding and go with a tiny vow exchange on a hill somewhere, then invite friends and family over for a fun dinner or bar afterwards. Thank you for sharing your stories. You've given us some fun ideas for both. Oh, you want to rent our rustic barn for 6 hours? There is a $8,000 event fee, but it does include plastic tables and chairs. But you will have to set them up yourself. Best decision of my life was a ceremony of 6 people and dinner afterwards. Who wants to start a marriage stressed or in debt? Popular cable sitcoms with laughing tracks. I was getting ready to rewatch How I Met Your Mother and then I heard the laugh track and instantly hated my next week. Edit. I'm so glad Brooklyn 99 doesn't have one. Edit 2. Rip inbox. Him is the only show with a laugh track I actually like. But I am a very strong believer that Big Bang Theory is the worst comedy show I have ever seen. Edit. Okay, so I haven't actually watched Seinfeld or Friends or some other older ones. Forgot about Fresh Prince also. Regardless of what you think of him or other shows, Big Bang Theory still blows. Virtual assistants and unnecessary smart devices. Alexa, can you get my smart pants to tickle my body when it's time for a poo? You know, I heard a poster a while back say something like this. Once, we freaked out about wiretaps and it became a national scandal. Nowadays we ask the wiretap to add milk to the grocery list and what weather it's gonna be today. If you listen to the Alexa ad, they literally claim as a selling point that it is always listening, always on, and can hear and listen to you from almost any direction at any volume. That shit's creepy. Funny thing is, when Xbox One came out, it advertised always listening and people freaked out. But Alexa, it's cool. Shows like American Idol for a long time. To be fair, American Idol is a 3-ton flaming turd that has been burning since 2002. New Year's Eve celebrations. To me, it makes sense in New Zealand, Australia. I'm from NZ. It's the peak of our summer. Everyone's got Christmas and dealing with relatives out of the way. There are loads of huge music festivals, etc. People can all get rat-faced drunk without worrying about dying of hypothermia. Then you cure the hangover the next day by going to the beach, lying in the shade, having a beer to bring you right again, and hopefully a barbecue at night with heaps of sausages and salads and shit. That I would be able to get behind. Sounds like a blast. Ducking clubbing or going out to bars. It's so expensive and loud, and there are so many windows. I have so much more fun drinking with a handful of friends at home. Edit. If, and only if said bar is also a concert venue, and there is a concert there I'd like to see, then it's excused. A good friend of mine really wanted to go clubbing since he had never been before. Paid the cover, got a drink, and was out $40 before he realized it wasn't worth it. Hate clubs, but I love me any type of neighborhood dive bar, cheap shitty beer, maybe 1 or 2 solid local brews, common folk that will actually strike up a good conversation because they aren't there trying to get laid, and they usually aren't absurdly crowded. Diversity. Nothing like softcore racism. That's exactly why it is something not a lot of people disagree on, because people like you shoot them down and call them names for thinking differently when you don't even know them. Lil Sebastian. I still just don't get it. He's a goddamn hero, son. I bet you like calzones too. Just moved to Legalton already. Giving a shit about 9/11. Get over it, USA. It was more than 15 years ago and 1,000 more people are killed by cars each year. 4 times as many people are killed by guns each year. Most of those are suicides. Edit. R.I.P. inbox. It's going to take me a week to get back to everyone on this. Also, additional point. Hurricane Katrina killed 2/3 times as many people as 9/11. People are not giving a 30th of the attention. Giving a shit about 9/11. Get over it, USA. Holocaust? Get over it. Jews. Said it. Bolded the S in case some of you missed it. Wow, that's an insane comparison. 6 million is way more people numerically than 3k. Add to that the percent of total Jews killed versus the percent of total Americans killed. A fairer comparison would be if someone had nuked New York City. That might be worth the hype 9/11 has gotten. American patriotism is just a sad, arrogant, pity party. Get over yourselves and your trumped up tragedies. Taylor Swift. Her music is just plain boring. This song does not have a bass line or make any damn sense. Except it's always me X fault when I am the common denominator. Hey edit. Thank you, kind people, for the ore. Shabby chic. I used to like that vintage and upcycled look, but now that it has become mainstream, faux vintage is everywhere and it's tacky as hell. It's the same with kitschy styles too. Owls, mustaches, old tea sets, flamingos, unicorns, etc. are not cute and quirky anymore because they are ducking everywhere, and it doesn't make you quirky either. My house is full of owls, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I like owls, but it started out with me buying myself some household items that were woodland creatures themed. Foxes, raccoons, owls, etc. Well, my mom and grandma got it in my head that I loved owls, and now everything they buy me is owl themed. Last month my stepdaughter decided to sit in one spot in our house and count how many owls she could see without moving. I think it was like 26 or something. Hey, owls are lit. Tanning and a lot of celebrities. Hype beast fashion. Most of the shoes are fine, but the clothes are ugly, overpriced messes. Nothing wrong with wearing 1 or 2 pieces of expensive clothing, but when all you literally do is just put as much money into your outfit as you can, ugh, it doesn't look good, man. Especially if that outfit is a pair of camouflage pants and a white t-shirt with a red rectangle in the middle. People who are famous for absolutely no other reason than being filthy rich. Starbucks, the coffee is gross and overpriced. The reason why it's so hyped is because it's consistently average. It's not great coffee, but whatever you order, it's going to taste the same at every Starbucks. Edit. I'm not replying to any of you from now on. Edit 2. CHR15Pi0696 is drunk because of college graduation. Education. The American education system isn't geared towards learning. It's geared towards memorization and test taking. They don't teach you anything. By the time I was in 9th grade, my teachers, my parents, the principal and my IEP manager had all agreed there was nothing more they could teach me, but I still had to go, because I was a minor. It was awful, and I made it worse for everyone else. r/I am Verismith. r/I am Verismith. Star Wars and Harry Potter. The writing is lazy and the drama is forced. The heroes are whiny beaches whose entire story arc is that victory was assured from the moment of their birth. I question the literacy of anybody over the age of 14 who is still reading Harry Potter, and I disregard every cinematic opinion held by anybody who claims any sliver of the Star Wars franchise is anything more than mildly entertaining. r/I am Verismith. Obama. Agree, but he's miles better than the current turd sandwich though that calls itself a president. He was way better at playing politics. That was the problem. He got too much done. Killed Saddam bin Laden and Gaddafi, plunging the Middle East deeper into chaos. Passed the biggest corporate welfare bill in US history on behalf of health companies. Shored up and partially legitimized the national surveillance apparatus Bush Jr. gave us. Enshrined political correctness and all but abolished due process in universities. Edit. Correction. Frozen. 2013. And Beyonce. Tangled is so much better. 100%. As is Moana. But I have 2 little girls ages 5 and 3 and they are Frozen obsessed. I'm so sick of it. The Simpsons. The Office. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't find any of these shows funny at all. Edit. Good God. R.I.P. My inbox. For everyone asking, I find things like New Girl, Community, and Better Off Ted very funny. You're probably a Rick and Morty type of guy, cause your IQ is so high. Upvote for Arsip. I don't get the appeal either. Edit. I get it. Nihilism and bad people and dark humor and stuff, to be fair. This irritates me so much. So now Dr. X is in a wheelchair. The next movie he's walking, and the movie after that he's in a wheelchair again. In this flashback he's walking, but in the other flashback which happened before the other he's in a wheelchair. They tried to fix it in the prequels, but it only made it more confusing. So in this movie he end up in a wheelchair, but in the prequel sequel he's walking again, because his friend created these meds that makes you walk again, but these meds disable your mutation. So he decides to stop taking them and goes back to the wheelchair. This sort of wheelchair shenanigans is pretty much on par with the source material. If I recall correctly, Professor X was able to walk whenever he lost his powers for whatever reason. Yeah, not sure how accurate the movie is, but his powers make it so he can't walk anymore. They had an episode of X-Men animated series where they were stuck on an island that nullified their powers and Professor X was walking around fine. Children. I didn't even like them when I was a child. Glad I never was one. Bacon. I like it, but I don't think the world should revolve around it. Snapchat. Send Bobs and Vjin BBY. Auto delete conversations is the crucial key element that makes Snapchat so popular. Drinking. When I'm drunk I feel like an idiot and only want to be sober. When people are drunk around me I get extremely annoyed and want them to leave. I hate the taste of alcohol. People tell me try this, try that. It's all gross to me. Also, I start feeling sick before I start feeling drunk. So the only way for me to be drunk is to also feel nauseous. Most social media. Also I very loudly hate Beyonce. Edit. Great. My highest voted comment, by more than double, is about how I dislike a popular entertainer. Great. Do you hate Beyonce the person, Beyonce the entertainer, or Beyonce the ravenous fanbase? 2 and somewhat 3. I have no problem with her as a human being. Big Bang Theory. I think it's nerd culture written for non-nerds. As I nerd, I think it's exploitative and inauthentic. I feel like the only thing more annoying than the Big Bang Theory is Awesome Circular Jerk is the anti-Big Bang Circular Jerk. Everyone either loves it or hates it with a passion. It's just a show. I dunno. Music. Metallica. Kendrick Lamar. Radiohead. Green Day. LCD Sound System. Muse Food. Macaroni. Orius Anime. Boku no Hero Academia. Full Metal Alchemist. Also mechanical keyboards. Did you have to train to get such awful taste or were you born with this talent? IPA beers. As a southerner, I don't understand how people enjoy sweet tea so much. It hurts my teeth just thinking about it. I love well-made tea. Unfortunately it's getting more and more scarce. Growing up, my mama made really strong, dark tea and the sugar was just right. It was so good. These days, most folks seem to make sugar water with a hint of tea flavor. It's a real big bummer. Hating Trump. We get it. He sucks. No need to preach from the rooftops about every word he utters. Edit since I'm tired of typing the same clarification over and over again. I type this with more regard to the social media side of things. I think there are better ways to convey a message, like contacting your local politician or joining protests. The Kardashians. I feel like I hear people bashing them more than loving them. A pretty popular thing around here for girls seems to be paint night. You pay $45. You drink and someone shows you how to paint the same painting as everyone else. It's super expensive for something that seems so pointless to me. I'd rather go to a friend's house, get some dollar store paint supplies and get trashed watching Bob Ross. Seems more entertaining and not as expensive. Reality shows. Seriously, how do they keep making them? Stranger Things. Winona Ryder is just awful. Spectator sports. Blah. Okay, so you moved an object over a line or through a hole accurately. Bully for you. Now please go do something useful. Cats. No, Linda, I don't like him. Now get him off my leg or he'll lose one of his 9 lives. P.S. Dogs. Cats edit. FFS. Okay, I changed it to lose. Fallout. New Vegas. Mumble rap. Face tattoos and Xanax. Watching other people play sports bores me to hell. Edit. Well, this blew up while I was at work. I'm not surprised there's a lot of people that don't care for sports. Everyone enjoys different things for different reasons. For me, I live in a small town and am kinda introverted to begin with. So I don't meet a lot of people that don't watch some kind of sport. Especially football and baseball. Nothing wrong with enjoying what does it for you though. Pugs. I don't understand the love for this ugly little doggo. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That show is not funny. Edit. RIP my inbox. And good to see there are other closeted people who feel the same way, lol. Dogs edit. Your downvotes prove my point. And miss the point of this thread entirely. The Beatles. They're basically One Direction of their day. They have good songs, but that doesn't grant them the godlike reverence they receive. Breaking Bad. America. The Witcher 3. Not everyone likes it, but I hate modern rap music. I used to like modern rap, then I realized my modern rap was actually 90s rap, and I was just getting old. The Office. Mad props to the cast for the amount of improv that they were able to produce in the show. But damn, my friends and I could do the same thing. Also, the humor is not that funny. Edit. Everyone took this way too seriously, lol. Paris. There is actually an entire mental illness surrounding Paris in Japan. Japanese tourists travel to Paris, this idealized city of love and art, and then they meet the people of France and go into a deep depression. Link for interested parties. So, it's Japanese French weeboos? Doctor Who. Living. Boba Fett. He was ducking useless, did nothing except screw up, and started as a stupid kid who didn't know what he was doing. Then he just ended up becoming a terrorist. He didn't even have much screen time. The only reason anyone liked him is cause of his ruined Mandalorian armor. I'll never understand anyone who likes Boba Fett. Edit. Okay, 2 things. Firstly, some people think the Mandalorian armor should just be bounty hunter armor and they think I'm referring to the EU. No, TCW and lots of other stuff is canon, so it is Mandalorian armor. But that bit was just me saying that I think some old, shitty Mandalorian armor wasn't that cool. Secondly, I sort of get what you guys are saying about him, but 99% of it just seems to be nostalgia. Edit 2. Oh, and RIP my inbox, holy shit. Kurigsi bought one for my so, and I hate buying the pods all the time. Not much space for bulk storage. And I wound up just using a refillable pod. It would be easier to just have a regular coffee pot, but my soul loves using the pods still. Oh well, she's happy, so the extra work is worth it. Sex. Porn. It just seems so juvenile. You're not supposed to be watching that type of porn. Second Amendment. I really don't get it when people start losing their mind over it. Edit. Seems like my answer fits the bill. Edit. I made the first edit when my comment was bringing me negative karma. Now I am not so sure anymore. Sex. I'm over 40. There is nothing that I secretly hate, only openly. After 40, you don't give a duck if someone knows you don't like something. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.